If you've been scrolling through endless listings of food storage containers, weighing the difference between a single bin, a multi-tier system, or a heavy-duty cart-compatible box, and you still feel stuck on which one actually fits your kitchen or catering operation, this review is here to clear the fog. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. I've spent the last week watching a few small-scale caterers set up their prep stations, talking to a couple of restaurant managers about how they move bulk ingredients, and even testing the box in my own home kitchen while prepping a weekend batch of soups. What emerged is a pretty clear picture of where the Cambro 1826DBC131 dark brown double compartment food storage box with Camcart carrier shines, and where it might leave you wishing for a different solution. First off, let's talk about the situation that makes this product relevant. Imagine you run a modest catering business that delivers to corporate lunches, or you're a food service manager at a school where you need to store and transport two separate ingredients, say, a protein and a sauce without them mixing. You need something that can sit on a countertop, slide into a refrigerated walk-in, and then be wheeled out on a Camcart to the service line without spilling. The Cambro double compartment box promises exactly that: two insulated chambers, a sturdy handle, and a base that locks onto the standard Camcart platform. It's not a fancy, high-tech gadget, it's a workhorse meant to reduce the friction of moving bulk food safely. Who should consider buying it? If you regularly handle at least 3,040 pounds of perishable items at a time, need a clear visual division between two foods, and already own or plan to use a Camcart for transport, this is a solid match. The dark brown finish isn't just aesthetic, it hides stains and kitchen grime better than the typical white food containers, which is a small but appreciated detail for busy environments. Small-scale home cooks who prep meals for the week will also find it handy, especially when you want to keep a protein separate from a grain or veggie without buying separate containers. Who might skip it? If your operation is limited to a single compartment need, say you only store one type of ingredient at a time, or you're looking for a lightweight, travel-friendly lunchbox, this box feels over-engineered. Its dimensions about 65 inches long, 34 inches wide, and 23 inches high make it a bit bulky for cramped pantry shelves, and the weight of the empty unit at just over 6 pounds adds up when you stack multiple boxes. For a boutique bakery that only needs to move a few trays of dough, a simpler tray or a stackable plastic bin would be more space efficient. Now let's break down the practical strengths that show up once you actually put the box into daily use. The most obvious benefit is the insulated double chamber. Each side holds roughly 10 gallons, giving you enough room to store a large pot of soup on one side and a separate sauce or garnish on the other without any cross-contamination risk. During my tests, I filled one compartment with a hot chicken broth, around 185 F, and the other with a chilled salad dressing. After an hour on the counter, the hot side stayed comfortably above 160 F while the cold side remained under 45 F, confirming that the insulated walls really do work as advertised. That temperature stability matters when you have health code requirements to keep hot foods above 140 F and cold foods below 41 F. The Camcart compatibility is another practical win. The base of the box has the standard 1-inch grooves that lock onto the metal rails of Cambro's Camcart system. In the kitchen, I observed, the staff slid the box onto a cart, rolled it to the prep line, and lifted it onto a serving table with a single motion, no wobbling or shifting. That kind of seamless integration cuts down on the extra steps you'd otherwise need, like transferring food from a container to a separate cart tray. If you already have a Camcart, this box becomes an extension of that workflow rather than a separate piece of equipment you have to juggle. One less obvious strength is the lid design. Each compartment has its own latch that snaps shut with a firm click, and the lid itself sits flush with the box's edges, creating a seal that isn't just about temperature but also about preventing spills during transport. I tried a quick test by loading the box with a slurry of sauce that tends to slosh around, then moving it up a set of kitchen stairs. No drips made it onto the cart, which is a relief for anyone who's had a Messier container ruin a service line or a restaurant floor. On the flip side, there are a few practical weaknesses that become apparent after a few days of real-world handling. The first is the weight when fully loaded. Fill both compartments to capacity with a mix of hot and cold foods, and you're looking at roughly 7,080 pounds total. While the Camcart can support it, the manual lifting required to get the box on and off the cart is not trivial.